Hi, my name is Joyce, WBO champion of the world, and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Okay, so in this video, we're going to be doing the top 15 for the heavyweight division within the WBO. I've already done the WBA for this month of November. Previous video, go check out that one. We're still waiting on the Ring Magazine, the WBC, and the IBF. As soon as they are released, I'll do videos on those as well. So if you are new to the channel, and especially if you like to keep updated as to who's who within the heavyweight division in the top rankings across all the alphabet soup sanctioning bodies, please click that subscribe button, and of course I'll point out any changes between the months, and of course I'll give you justification or go in on the sanctioning body depending on who it is that they have what, where and when. But of course, like any ranking system, you can never get it right, okay? And of course we understand that a lot of it is subjectivity. Some people will say you should put this fighter above this other fighter based on the fact that they like said fighter more than the other. And of course some fighters have a fight 1 month and then they have 2 or 3 months layoff. Things change. Anyway, let's get into the top 15 for the WBO. Oleksandr Usyk is, of course, the WBO World Heavyweight Champion, along with the WBA, IBF, and IBO as well. Number 1, Joyce. Number 2, Joseph Parker. Number 3, Andy Ruiz Jr. Number 4, fresh insert, Anthony Joshua. Number 5, Frank Sanchez. Number 6, Michael Hunter. Number 7, King Kong Luis Ortiz. Number 8 is Zhilei Zhang. Number 9, fresh insert, Daniel Dubois. Number 10, the Deontay Wilder Slayer in the amateurs, Evangelos Romanov. Number 11, Dempsey Mckee. Number 12, Filip Hrgovic. Number 13, Usyk Cabiel. Number 14, Tony Yoka. And finally, number 15, Ali Eren Demirizian. So that is the top 15. The noticeable changes compared to last month, of course, Oleksandr Usyk is now the champion, Anthony Joshua is not, and Efe Ajagba has been dropped from the top 15 of the WBO. Is that down to because he lost to Frank Sanchez on the Fury Wilder 3 undercard? Quite possibly, and of course his performance weren't too good, let's be honest. But for me, I think Efe Ajagba is a serious contender, and he will bounce back in my opinion. Now, we're going to talk about the fresh inserts first. Number 4, Anthony Joshua. Now, Anthony Joshua been put in at number 4. Now, this is a guy who's been defending that WBO belt ever since he won it by defeating Joseph Parker. So for me, it's a bit of a disrespect, the fact that he lost on points to a pound-for-pound fighter, Oleksandr Usyk, and gets put in at number 4. Behind Joseph Parker and Andy Ruiz Jr., 2 fighters, of course, he has beaten. I mean, for me, I see that as very disrespectful. Maybe some of you guys will agree, some will disagree, especially if you don't like Anthony Joshua. You'll say, he's not even a top 15 fighter. But Joyce being number 1, is he number 1? Is he the best? No, I mean, he hasn't proved it yet. He's got good wins on his resume, considering that he's only had 13 fights. Of course, Daniel Dubois probably being the best one of the bunch. Last time out, Carlos Takam and a couple of others. And he is a WBO mandatory, even though he hasn't fought in a final eliminator, such is Frank Warren and the WBO's relationship, right? But either way, I think Anthony Joshua, does it really matter he's been put in at number 4? In some ways, no, because obviously he will be fighting for the world title in the rematch with Oleksandr Usyk, what we believe to be around March kind of time, maybe even April, who knows. But is it disrespectful? I see that it is, but hey. Now, number 5, Frank Sanchez, before we get into the other fresh insert and down Dubois, number 5, Frank Sanchez, he did just defeat Efe Ajagba, who Efe Ajagba, he was ranked in the sanctioning body. In fact, he was ranked number 10 prior to their fight, but he, in fact, doesn't move up in positions. He stays at number 5. I'm not too sure what their reasoning is behind that one. Anyway, the other fresh insert, Daniel Dubois, in at number 9. Now, Dubois, yes, he lost to Joyce, who, of course, is number 1 in the WBO right now. Then he fought Bogdan Dinu, let's be honest. Then he fought a guy, I can't remember who he was, on the Jake Paul versus whoever it was undercard. So is that a good position for Dan Dubois to be ranked at number 9? I'm not against it. Listen, I'm biased. I'm British. But I think there's probably a couple of fighters in or around him that could potentially be above him, or maybe should. Like, for example, Filip Hrgovic. Maybe he should. Tony Yoka. He should be ahead of Dan Dubois. Arguably, even a Usyk Cabiel, former European heavyweight champion. So maybe, but I'm not hating on the fact that he's ranked at number 9. I don't like the fact Zhilei Zhang is ranked number 8. He's a Chinese heavyweight. He is undefeated, but he does have a draw. Now, in that draw, I felt he lost that fight. I will be honest, he looked like he's just part of the races. It looks like, I don't know, his age caught up with him or something's caught up with him. He just didn't look good at all. In fact, he's never really looked that good. But is he ranked number 8? Well, let's try and justify his position. Luis Ortiz. Now, Luis Ortiz, as per the previous video for the WBA, has now been totally dropped out of their rankings, but he retains his position within the WBO for the month of November. I'll say every time I speak about Luis Ortiz in the rankings, his best win is in 2015 against Brian Jennings, who came off a loss to Vladimir Klitschko the very fight beforehand. That's the extent of his resume. He takes on journeymen and gatekeepers and whatever else. Yeah, he fought Wilder twice, got starched on both occasions. Don't get me wrong, he was putting Wilder through the absolute mill. Arguably, the fight could have been stopped and awarded the Luis Ortiz win in the first fight at the end of round number 7. Of course, the judge, the referee gave Wilder extra time at the beginning of round number 8 to help him recuperate just a little bit more. But it is what it is. Officially, it's 2 losses. So should he be ranked number 7? I mean, I can't hate on it too much. But who's he going to fight when he fights on the Gervonta Davis undercard? Of course, now he's not going to be fighting that Roddy Romero guy. Who it is that he's going to be fighting next? I did hear a name, but I've forgotten. That's how uninterested it is I am. It's somebody Diaz or something. Anyway, we'll have to wait and see who it is that he fights on that undercard. For my money, it ain't going to be anybody that makes you go, oh, that's good. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe Otto Wallin. Okay, they're both PBC fighters. That would be the ideal fight, won't it? Anyway, so that is the top 15 for the WBO. A couple of changes here and there. A couple of fighters moved up. A couple of fighters moved down. Number 11, sorry, I forgot to speak about Dempsey Mckee, Australian undefeated heavyweight. He's a pretty decent fighter. He's a southpaw. In fact, he was in the Anthony Joshua training camp when Joshua was training for Oleksandr Usyk. And then he switched over to Dillian Whyte's training camp when Dillian Whyte was supposed to fight Otto Wallin. Of course, that fight got cancelled due to Dillian Whyte injuring his shoulder. But now he's sparring, I think it's Daniel Dubois. So maybe Daniel Dubois could be taking on a southpaw soon. Maybe, if you look over at the WBA rankings, maybe Mark Demori. I'm pretty sure he's southpaw, isn't he? Maybe, maybe not. Anyway, my thoughts. You drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video.